In some big time news going into Double or Nothing, MJF apparently no-showed AEW FanFest in Las Vegas, even though he was scheduled. This is according to PW Insider, who reports that the word is that Maxwell Jacob Friedman, MJF, legitimately did not attend FanFest and that the promotion was not able to get in contact with him, which is a huge deal. AEW staff did their best to make good on to the fans who were looking forward to seeing him, but he obviously did not show up. The report also noted that, quote, there had been the feeling that MJF hasn't been on the same wavelength as many of those behind the scenes in AEW management. It was also said that MJF has 2 years left on his contract. Per AEW management, they have wanted to negotiate with him. They have not been able to get him in the room. He has not wanted to talk. Some feel that his behavior has been disrespectful to Tony Khan, especially some people backstage, that has led to a little bit of backstage heat with MJF. And all in all, going into Double or Nothing. First, let me be clear about one thing. Do I think that MJF is going to no-show Double or Nothing? No. There is a 99.99% chance that MJF goes to Double or Nothing, does everything as scheduled, and is fine. On the flip side, long-term thinking-wise, this is not good for AEW. Because this is just another. We heard the reports that MJF was upset with AEW, had been feeling like he was not valued to the degree he probably should be. And I think we are seeing a manifestation of that through him not showing up to FanFest. Like, it's the equivalent of a player not showing up to training camp. This is not like it's different than if a player held, like in the NFL. It's different than if a player held out and didn't show up to a game. Like, that would be the equivalent of MJF missing Double or Nothing. But this is training camp basically, as far as FanFest goes. Like, that's the same level uh, of seriousness of the event. But it is still a big deal because this shows that MJF is not only defiant, but almost rebellious in a way. And this is a way that he is expressing that he's not happy. And I think that for anyone to say that, oh, this might be a work, this might be this or that, one thing that I can assure you is that if AEW advertised MJF to show up at FanFest and told fans he was going to be there, on their end, they would not have done so knowing that this was a work. So either the head doesn't know what the body's doing as far as AEW management goes, or MJF is using this as a way to say, I'm very unhappy with the state of my money. I'm unhappy with the state of the level of respect that I get from Tony Khan and AEW management, and I'm unhappy with my placement within the company currently. And I know that, in my opinion, MJF was going to win the AEW title at some point, probably in All Out or Full Gear. Now I'm not so sure. I know we're still like 2 years out from the bidding war of 2024, but when things like this happen, when you have these battles between battles is hyperbole, obviously, but when you have these disagreements between the wrestler and the company, sometimes that can change booking. I hope it doesn't in this case because I think that MJF would make a great world champion, but I'm not in control of the booking. But this is a big deal. Like, again, it's not going to affect Double or Nothing, really. It's not going to affect the way they book it. But for MJF to be this unhappy that he's missing FanFest, it means that he's trying to send a direct message to AEW management. I think they should take it seriously if they haven't already. I really have an idea that they have. But, I mean, it's just another wrinkle in the growing list of problems between these two parties that we've seen over the past few months. And I'm telling you, do not be surprised if Maxwell Jacob Friedman goes to WWE. There are, like, especially after Cody. After Cody, all bets are off. All right, let's be honest. Cody Rhodes is someone that every single person in the IWC or every single wrestling fan really wrote off as that is the one guy who will never go back to WWE, considering everything that he said, done, and just believed in and stood for over the past few years. But he went back. So you don't think the Maxwell Jacob Friedman, someone who WWE executives have had their eye on, someone who network executive Fox specifically asked about MJF in 2024 if they could get him on their network. WWE will unload all the money in the world for MJF, deservedly so. The only question is, will AEW be willing to do the same? We're going to find out in just a little bit. Again, 2 years in wrestling, actually less than 2 years, like a year and a half, is no time. All right? But y'all let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released.